100.9 The Creek, Real Music, Real Radio. Creekside Mornings, Tony Doolin, Charles Davis.
Yeah.
It is Tuesday. Normally on Tuesdays during sports season, we have the voice of the Mercer Bears, Rick Cameron, in the studio
Hall
with
of
us.
Famer.
It's been a while.
A long while. But I'm
back.
It is so good to see you guys.
You have no idea, Rick.
Every Tuesday morning, I wake up and I just know there's something missing. This morning, I couldn't wait for the alarm to go. In fact, I got up before the alarm
at
went
you.
off.
Look at that.
Because I was fired up to see the guys.
Now, as excited as we are to have you here
You're even more excited.
to find out how Miss Myra's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Myra is doing well. She, she's a tough cookie.
The lovely Myra Cameron.
Yep. She's keeping me straight,
That's
which is
good.
the hardest thing to do. And I'm sure the fellow next to me would also, in a moment, blend in and say also that she keeps about 400 student athletes in place and coaches as well.
And sideline reporters.
And sideline reporters, especially on the road, keeping them fed and rested. Absolutely.
Got to keep Charles fed.
Got to keep Charles ready because I always want to make sure when he interviews the head coach that he is in
ready to
tune
go.
with what game we're playing.
Should have brought him some saltines or something this morning, Rick.
Saltines.
Oh, man.
Hey, okay, donuts will be on my next visit.
There we go. Now,
Donuts on my
I
next
was
visit.
mistaken. First of all, thank you for the masks.
You're right.
Yes, thank you.
As you're going to be packing those care packages latter part of this week.
A lot of faculty and staff are joining together to pack 11,000 Bears care kits. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I was mistaken earlier, Rick. I thought that Coach Drew Cronic had been a guest on the show before.
Yes.
And apparently I was wrong.
No.
Well, Coach Cronic, when he arrived, realized there was much to do, and he has been reported to be two places at one time.
There he is.
Coach Cronic, good
But we got him
morning.
now.
Good morning.
How
Good
are
to
you,
see
sir?
guys. I'm great. Good to see you guys.
So let's recap the last 7 months. December 2019, the announcement is made that you're the new Mercer football coach. February 2020, kind of threw your plans in, shall we say, disarray?
A little bit, yeah. We're
That's a safe way to say it, Coach.
it's been a wild ride so far. There's been a lot of pauses. I mean, we had a great start. We had a great signing class. We were able to implement just our culture, our way of doing things, just from an off-season program, the way we want to lift, the way we want to be accountable, the way we want to do our academics. We got 3 days into spring practice, and that was about the time that the COVID-19 hit us and kind of shut us down. But I think we covered a lot of ground there.
Okay.
Since then, we've had to be very creative, and everything. I'm about zoomed out, to be honest.
A new word in the dictionary.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can accomplish with a Zoom meeting.
Well, it is, and we've hopefully what it's made us do is be better and more creative coaches as far as how we can communicate, how we can teach, how we can just connect with our guys. My assistant coach, I've got the best staff in the country, okay, and I'll put them up against anybody. They've done an unbelievable job of continuing to build what we're trying to build in not very ideal circumstances.
Yeah.
We'll get there, and we've just had to, sometimes you get to learn new ways of doing things when you go through something strange. So that's what we've been trying to do.
Has this been a situation where you've used this time to, teach new offense, teach new defense, really more of an academic approach to football as opposed to being on the field and practicing?
Yeah, you've had to. I mean, we've done, we've installed, we're using our the different programs on the computer. We're using our Zoom meetings. We're watching film. Then we're installing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over and over again, and trying to do everything we can so when we do get to hit the field, that maybe we can streamline it and speed it up a little bit more, just because mentally you feel like that they have a.
You've already gone through the work.
Exactly. Now you've got to put yourself through the physical reps to build that, but hopefully we're farther along mentally so that part can go faster.
Yeah. Now it's just developing the muscle memory on these players.
Correct.
What is the practice schedule? What is your tentative schedule right now? I know things are fluid, but
Well, what the NCAA has said now is that you normally we would be able to start on August the 7th.
Okay.
You have a certain number of practice days before the first game, which I believe our first game is September 5th. Is Vandy, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Very
I want to ask
hopefully.
you about that.
Very hopefully.
Yeah.
But this summer, because everybody's behind, because we've lost the guys earlier, the NCAA is allowing us to come back in on the 24th and begin to do more what we call CARE, which is the accountable hours we're allowed to make mandatory, where we can have some walkthroughs.
Okay.
That's unusual for that time of year.
Okay.
We can have walkthroughs with coaches. We can continue to weight train and condition, and we can have our meetings. So that's something they've added on to the front to maybe help us reacclimate and make sure the guy. I mean, because really, what you want to do is make sure the kids are safe, which means you need them in condition. When you go out in that heat in August, you want to make sure you've done enough work on the front end to where guys can get out there and practice and be safe. And so that's kind of where we are right now. Now, hopefully, all those things will come to fruition. That's what we're planning on. Really, for us, we're probably going to plan on really starting that up on the 28th, because we've been blessed here. We've had about 65 guys here this summer for Summer 2 session of summer school, which started June the 22nd.
Right.
And so it just goes to show you the kind of leadership we have, with President Underwood and Jim Cole, just that they were able to make that happen so we could go ahead and get some guys. I think we were the first SoCon school to bring guys back and start training. So hopefully we're, from a conditioning standpoint, from a weight training standpoint, maybe we're, a little bit ahead of the game. So we're going to give those guys that weekend off is our plan, and then get back to work that Monday, Tuesday, try to get to those walkthroughs and really continue to move forward. That gives you a little, walkthrough's still a walkthrough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're not hidden. Yeah, you're not.
But you're still able to step and go and visualize. And then in August the 7th would be our first day of real football practice.
Well, that's a good transition, because the SoCon was one of the first conferences to announce that they would be playing games.
Yeah.
A lot of conferences have not made that decision yet, the NCAA leaving it up to each individual conference. What is our confidence level on that September 5th game happening at Vandy?
God, I don't know.
Yeah.
Chicken bones and blood in a bowl at this point.
Well, when you've seen, I guess, the Big Ten.
Yeah, Big Ten announced they're just doing conference games.
So I think, obviously, the SEC is a big domino.
Yes.
That's going to start a lot of dominoes falling. And I'm sure that they will do everything they can to play football as much as they can this fall. I think that's where they'll go with it. Whether that just means conference games or not. Obviously, if they say only conference games, then we will lose the Vandy game. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
We certainly want that opportunity. We want our guys to be able to play as many games as they can. But we certainly got to watch after what's going on, keep our guys safe. So there's a lot of people probably a lot smarter than me making some of these decisions. As a football coach, I got a one-track mind. I want to give our guys a chance to play as much as they can.
Yeah, of course.
Tony, I think another question will be how many options might be on the table, even if we do play.
Sure.
Coming down from there, option 1, option 2, with fans, without fans.
Without fans, yeah.
So there's probably, I'm sure,
there'll be
the
a lot
ADs have several options.
There'll be a lot of protocols, and there'll be a lot of things that you have to do. There'll be testing. I'm sure. Trying to keep our players as safe as possible. And keep coaches as safe as possible. So we'll just kind of have to see what those things look like. And it's a very fluid situation. I think it changes almost daily.
Yeah.
So it's uncharted territory for everybody. So we're just hoping and praying for the best.
Yeah. Because I've got to ask a football question just because it's in my head. Being the first year head coach of the team and bringing in a different style offense that was with the team before. You lost a lot of players to seniors and things like that. I think it was only 7, I might be wrong, 10 returning players on the team this year. Have you found it easier to install your type of culture on a team when you have a lot more underclassmen than you do have seniors and things of that nature?
Yeah, it's a younger football team.
Yeah.
And we have very, very few seniors on the team. It's hard to know that. I mean, in my previous experience at Lenoir-Rhyne, we came in a similar situation to a team that had struggled somewhat and trying to change a culture, and we had only 3 seniors on the football team. But those 3 kids did an unbelievable job. They bought in. A lot of it is your older guys going to be willing to get uncomfortable and change, because they're the ones who, even though they want maybe to change, want to build a winning program, they still have the most habits that you're trying to, that have been formed because they've been here the longest. So younger guys, a lot of times, it's a little easier to get them going. But I think we got a good group of seniors. I really do. I mean, I really like our kids. They really, because we turned it on its head a little bit when we came in. We're going to be where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you're going to train a certain way. We're going to train like we're going to beat North Dakota State. That's where we want to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we're gonna train like champions. We're gonna work like champions. We're gonna make good grades. We had a really good GPA this spring.
Good.
Team GPA made a 3.23 team GPA, which was outstanding.
All right now.
3.23. Yeah, sure.
Considering
Worth
all
repeating.
the factors and the craziness going on, the kids responded well there. They knew that was important to us as a coaching staff. So I'm proud of the way that these guys have responded to the new staff and the new way of thinking, and just the challenge that we're presenting to them is, hey, if this is what you want, we'll get there. But how fast we get there is up to you and how fast, because we're gonna coach the way we coach. We're gonna do things the way we've done them in the past. I really believe in my coaching staff. I had 5 coaches come to me from Lenore Ryan,
beautiful,
that I've been working with and know and trust, and then retained 2 coaches from the staff that I really think highly of. Hired a few,
I saw John Rush is on Russ is on the team now, which is good, very good.
And so I like our staff and who they are and how they honor the way we want to run the program, and our players respond well to that. And so now where we've got ahead is when it's in the fourth quarter of a championship game versus a really, really quality opponent. Mm-hmm. And we got to make plays.
Yeah.
And we got to find a way to get it done. How are we going to respond in those situations? That's where you got to grow to, is when it really, really matters. Are you going to show up in the competitive moments and enjoy that and find ways to get it done? And that's where we don't know the answers to that yet. That's where we got to build to.
Enjoy being in that moment, because that's the moment you want.
That's right.
You want to be there when it's on the line and you come through the way you're supposed to.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Well, I felt useless. Y'all are just
I had to ask. I needed that. I needed that.
Y'all go ahead. I'm good. I'm gonna go get some coffee.
Well, I think the coach alluding to championship caliber and getting where we want to go. I think if you look at his track record, the last few
that's
years,
the beautiful thing.
Not just last year, not just the year before, but all the way back through his entire coaching career. His dad, a great coaching career. He's going to demand excellence, and justifiably so. So I think he brings that environment with him.
Well, just if you're taking notes
if you
at
don't
home,
know,
if you're taking notes at home, I've got it handy right here.
Roll it off.
In conference play, South Atlantic Conference, Lenore Ryan 2018 7-0 first in the conference. Lenore Ryan 2019 8-0. First in the conference, finishing the 2018 season overall 12-2, 2019 13-1. I'm just going to say this, and Rick, we've discussed this before. Mercer is looking to advance the program to the next level, and you need that type of leadership to take a program to that next level. But I got to say, Coach Cronic, you've got a great infrastructure with the Mercer Athletics Department. Kudos to everyone over there, Rick, the broadcast team, Daniel Tate. Larry
Jim
Brumley,
Cole, Brumley,
Jim Cole, everybody top down is behind this program. So that's got to be an advantage in your back pocket right there.
It is. And so going through the interview process, I don't want to be somewhere where it's not important. This is, we're doing this to win championships.
Yep.
We're doing it to change lives. We're doing it to affect young men and all those things. But we also need the resources to give them the best opportunity to be successful. And it was very plain when I was going through this process that this was important to Jim Cole. This was important to build a championship program.
Yeah.
With President Underwood, it was important to him.
I can tell.
Didn't take him long to pick up on that, man.
It was fun. When we came on the interview, my wife and I, Mr. Cole, came up and picked us up in a plane and brought us back down, and we had dinner with President Underwood, and he's an awesome guy, and just getting to know him and how much he loves Mercer, how much he loves Macon, and how he is wanting to change everything for the better and build it and make it one of the best schools in the country, and he's passionate about those things, and those things that ooze out of him. And just sitting there having dinner with him, we were talking and enjoying our fellowship, and he just kind of stopped right in the middle of the conversation. And he kind of looked at me and said, Coach, I want to win.
Yeah.
All right. And then I said, yes, sir, I'm with you. And he said, no, I want to win.
I want to win. Yeah.
And then he kind of leaned across the table, and he's kind of a tall guy, and he kind of leaned across the table and said, no, Coach, I want to win. He said it 3 times.
Yeah. And
I don't know if he thought he was going to scare me, or see how I was going to respond. But I said, well, let's go then, and so to know that that this is important from the top down made me hungry to be here because you want that. That's the environment you want, and you want people to hold you to a high standard. And there were so many positives because this is my home state. My dad was a high school coach in Georgia for over 30 years. This is an hour and 15 minute from my family and my wife's family. We were high school sweethearts, but still, that was what made me hungry to be here, was to see the commitment that was from the top down. And when you have that, you've got a great chance. You got a great chance to get that done. So that's exciting. Now, it's been a crazy time, but I've still not lost we're going to get there.
The focus,
because all this stuff we'll get through this craziness, and we'll get to play football. And I think a lot about this fall is just playing. Let's just go play. Just the kids just need to play. If we need to line up, go play the Atlanta Falcons, then we need to go play. And whatever that looks like. So, and I have great faith in our leadership that I believe they're resolved. I believe Mr. Cole is resolved. I believe President Underwood is resolved to give us the best opportunity to do those things.
Absolutely. I was going to say that let's win mentality transcends just what happens on the field. It's the program overall, the culture around the program, which, since I've been here, I've lived here 4 years, I've seen it develop in 4 years, and it gets stronger every year.
It's interesting. Charles, Roger, and I think we know numbers and stats of previous opponents, how the conference is rolling out, or other things. The president can walk up on any given day and time and give me numbers.
Oh, yeah, he'll do that.
And I stop, scratch my head. I said, oh, sure, that's correct. Way ahead of me of who stops in the league and what we did last week and last year. So, yes.
Yeah, don't ever double-check his numbers.
Oh, no. He knows it.
President he always brings his A game.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Cronic, thank you for coming in this morning.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
It's good to meet you.
It's good to do something that feels a little normal.
A little normal, huh?
Rick, it's always a pleasure to see you.
And even through the pandemic, the sock game ain't changed, Tony.
Let's see what we got
sock game's still strong, baby.
Here we go.
Look at that.
Here we go.
Look at that.
I'm counting the weeks until first real Tuesday I come, knowing we're about to kick off that Saturday.
It's going to be good.
We can't wait. We're looking forward to it. Coach Cronic, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Rick, thank you.
Thanks to the Creek.
Send Myra our love.
Yes, please.
We'll do.
And let's play a little music from Turnpike Troubadours, 100.9 The Creek.